Whether you're a poet, a dancer, a storyteller, a singer, or someone who just loves to daydream and doodle, your creativity is a part of your medicine. And when you free your voice, you free your imagination, you start to create not for approval, but for sheer joy of making something true to you. Hey everyone, welcome back to A Talk with G, the podcast where we explore ancient wisdom, modern wellness, and everything in between. I'm your host, Gia, and today we've landed in episode 5 of our Chakra Healing with Shadowwork series. Today we're tuning into the chakra that holds so much power, yet often gets silenced. Our throat chakra, also known as Vishuddhari. This episode is for anyone who's ever felt like they couldn't speak their truth, for the ones who were told to stay quiet, to be agreeable, to not rock the boat, for anyone that's ever swallowed their voice, doubted their words, or struggled to express what's truly in their heart. If you've ever felt misunderstood, silenced, or afraid to speak up, this one's for you. Because your voice, our voice, is sacred. And healing the throat chakra is about reclaiming the courage to speak, to sing, to share, and to be heard, not just by the world, but by ourselves. In this episode, we're diving into our throat chakra and how it really becomes blocked or wounded, and what it takes to activate this center. Whether you're ready to set boundaries, write the truth, or sing your soul song, this is an invitation for you to take up space. Let's clear the static, soften the fear, and open up the channel. Alrighty, so let's keep flowing through this journey. Our throat chakra, our fifth energy center, or known as Vishuddhari in Sanskrit. Vishuddhari means purification, and that alone tells us how sacred and transformation this chakra really is. While the lower chakras are more about grounding, feeling, and relating, the throat chakra is where the energy gets a voice. This is the center of truth, self-expression, and authentic communication. Also, the courage to speak from our soul. Located at the base of our throat, this chakra governs our neck, jaw, mouth, thyroid, and vocal cords. It is tied to the elements of ether or space. This expansive medium through which sound travels, ether is subtle, open, and infinite, just like our voice, when it flows freely and it's aligned with our inner truth. In yoga tradition, our throat chakra is the bridge between our heart and our mind. It's where feelings and thoughts are turned into words, and not just any words, true words. You see, this chakra is about speaking our truth, not just to others, but to ourselves. It's about releasing the fear of being misunderstood or judged and embracing radical honesty and conscious communication. The color of this chakra is clear, sky blue, calm, spacious, and open. Imagine standing beneath a wide blue sky and letting your words carry like the wind through the vastness. That is this energy we're working with here. Ayurvedically, our throat chakra is deeply influenced by our Vata dosha, which governs our communication, sound, and movement through space. When balanced, Vata gives you the ability to articulate clearly, listen deeply, and express your creativity through words, song, or even silence. But when in balance, Vata can bring up anxiety, over-talking, and a complete shutdown of expression. You see, when this chakra is in harmony, we are able to speak up with confidence and clarity, expressing our boundaries with love, and sharing our truth without fear. We become this powerful vessel for truth and creative expression, whether it's through writing, singing, teaching, or simply having a real heart-led conversation. If you ever feel like your voice is shaky or even silent, or you sound really mean, or you can't express yourself fully without being misunderstood, you might be holding back your truth to keep the peace or speaking from a place of fear. This is signs that your throat chakra is wounded or blocked. Here's the thing I want you to remember as you're listening to this episode today. Your voice matters. Your words have power. And when your throat chakra is open and aligned, you don't just speak, you resonate, you heal through your truth. Now that we've opened up the conversation about our throat chakra, this center of truth, expression, and authentic communication, let's talk about what happens when it gets blocked and why. One of the most common reasons, fear of judgment. So many of us was taught, either directly or indirectly, that our words were not valuable, or worse, that they were dangerous. Maybe you spoke up as a child and got scolded at. Maybe your truth made someone uncomfortable and you were told to keep quiet. Over time, that conditioning teaches us that it's safer to stay silent. And silence, when it's rooted in fear, begins to clog this energy center. Then there's self doubt, the voice of the inner critic, always questioning, always second guessing. Did I say too much? Did I make it weird? Was I too emotional? When we don't trust ourselves, our voice gets shaky, sometimes literally, and sometimes energetically. And the throat chakra, which thrives on clarity and confidence, starts to dim. Another huge one is people pleasing. If you spend years molding yourself to meet other people's expectations, saying yes when you mean to say no, holding back your truth to keep the peace, your throat energy starts to shut down. You see, the way the chakra is connected to boundaries and self expression, it's mass. And when we betray our voice to maintain harmony, we abandon the very part of us that wants to be real. Another one that it's hard to come to terms with, even for myself when I was going through this healing process, is unprocessed grief. Unprocessed grief can also create energetic congestion here. Think about how often we choke up when we're holding back tears or words we wish we could have said. Maybe there was a goodbye you never got to speak, or the truth that stayed buried inside. These unspoken emotions get lodged in our throat like a lump that never quite goes away. And then there's trauma. Whether it's being gaslighted, dismissed, interrupted, or outright silenced verbally, and emotional trauma often lives right here in this chakra. This is the kind of pain that creates deep, energetic scars, making us believe that our voice is a liability rather than a gift. And let's not forget about creative suppression. Our throat chakra is the home of creative expression: singing, writing, poetry, storytelling. If your creativity was ever criticized, mocked, or ignored, that wound can block your flow. You may feel like what you have to say isn't important, or that your art isn't good enough. But your creative voice doesn't need permission, it needs freedom. So, if you've ever felt tightness in your throat, hesitation around speaking, or a sense of emotional buildup, it could be a sign that Vishuddhati needs your attention. The good news is these blocks are not permanent. Through shadow work, self reflection, and healing practices, you can reconnect with your voice, speak your truth with power, and allow your inner wisdom to flow again. Because your words matter, your voice matters, and you deserve to be heard, not by others only, but by your own heart first. When we really begin to work with the throat chakra, we are invited into some of the most honest, soul searching lessons of all. Because this isn't just about speaking, it's about being seen, heard, and being real. At its core, the chakra is the theme of truth, not the version of truth you've learned to filter or edit to make others comfortable, but the raw, unfiltered truth that lives within inside you. That knowing in your bones, that gut feeling, the truth that might not be convenient but is deeply you. Vishuddhati invites you to ask, am I living in alignment with what I know to be true? Or am I shrinking myself to fit into someone else's story? You see, this chakra also teaches authenticity. And here's the thing: authenticity isn't about being perfect, it's about being real. It's about giving yourself permission to change your mind, to evolve, to show up messy and honest. A balanced throat chakra does not demand that you have all the right words. It simply asks that you speak from your heart. One of the biggest lessons here is discernment, knowing when to speak, how to speak, and when your silence is sacred. Just because we have a voice doesn't mean every moment needs commentary. A healed throat chakra isn't about expression, but it's also about listening. Deep, present, intuitive listening to others, to yourself, and to your inner wisdom. And then there's the theme of boundaries. Speaking your truth also means standing in your nose. It means honoring your energy and expressing your needs without guilt or apology. For so many of us, this is a lifelong practice. especially if we were taught that being nice meant being agreeable. But your throat will always let you know when you've swallowed something that doesn't align. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. That tightness, that catch in your voice, those are signs. Another sacred teaching of this chakra is creative self expression. Whether you're a poet, a dancer, a storyteller, a singer, or someone who just loves to daydream and doodle, your creativity is a part of your medicine. And when you free your voice, you free your imagination, you start to create not for approval, but for sheer joy of making something true to you. And finally, integrity. Living in alignment between your inner truth and your outer actions. When this chakra is balanced, there is no dissonance. Your words match your energies. Your yes means yes, your no's means no, and your life becomes a reflection of your truth. So, I invite you, if you've ever felt the nudge to speak, write, sing in the shower, or say what's been sitting on your chest, this is your sign. This chakra is asking you to clear the path between your heart and your voice so that nothing gets lost in translation. Because your truth is medicine, not just for you, but for others too. Now, when our throat chakra is out of balance, it doesn't just show up energetically or emotionally. It often speaks through our body, loud and clear. This chakra governs the entire throat area, including our thyroid gland, neck, jaw, mouth, and vocal cords. So, if you're frequently dealing with issues like a sore throat, chronic coughing, tightness in the jaw, thyroid imbalancement, or even infamous lump in your throat when you're trying to speak, these can all be signs that there's something off in this energy center. A blocked throat chakra might also manifest as clenching your teeth, TMJ pain, hoarseness, or losing your voice during stressful times. If you've ever felt like your words get stuck mid-sentence or you shut down when emotion arises, that's not just nerves, it's an energetic congestion. From an Ayurvedic perspective, the throat chakra deeply is connected to Vata. However, with our Kapha dosha, it plays a part. You see, Kapha governs the chest, throat, and water elements in the body. When your Kapha is balanced, you're feeling stable and nurturing, expressive. But when it's excessive, when it's too much kapha or it's stagnant, it's congestion. Congestion starts to form, both physically, like mucus buildup, colds, sinus infections, and emotional, silence, avoidance, and emotional suppression. On the flip side, going back to our vata, vata shows up if you are feeling anxious before speaking, suffering from a stream of nerves, stuttering, or finding it hard to express yourself clearly. Vata governs communication, movement, and nervous system. So an aggravated vata can make you overthink your words, feel scattered, or fear of judgment. Even our pitta dosha shows up here. Our fiery transformation plays a role, especially when you speak in ways that are harsh, overcritical, or reactive. If your words are laced with anger or impatience, pitta might be running the show for that one. One Ayurvedic approach to balancing this chakra is through diet and herbs that soothe the throat and reduce inflammation or stagnation. Try swapping out that cold ice drink for a warm tea or a drink that doesn't have ice in it. Add more ginger into it. Add some ghee for lubrication for your voice. Some warm foods that are easy to digest and bring comfort to this area. So, if your throat chakra has been calling out to you lately, whether it's through discomfort or silence, know that it's not just physical issues. It's your body asking you to clear the channel, to bring your voice, your inner truth, and tend to your self expression with love and attention. Now, when we talk about healing our throat chakra, we're really talking about restoring our connection to our voice, our authentic expression, our truth, and our ability to speak with clarity and confidence. And one of the most powerful ways to do that is through intentional, heart cleared meditation and affirmation practice. So I invite you guys to start a meditation if you are in a safe space to do so. This is one of my favorite practices for our throat chakra, is this breathing and sound meditation. I invite you to find a quiet space where you can sit comfortably, spine tall, but relaxed. You're probably like, how is that possible? Flow with it, guys. Take a few deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then gently begin to hum on your exhale. Just a soft and steady hum. Let the vibration move through your throat. Feel it resonate in your chest, your jaw, your lips. This is more than a sound. It's healing. That gentle vibration helps to clear a stagnation in our throat area and calm the nervous system. You can also try chanting the Bhaja mantra, hum. That is hum. As you exhale, say it slowly. Let it roll through your throat like a wave. If you're a more visual person, try a blue light meditation. The color associated with our throat chakra is soft, radiant blue, like our sky, at dawn or the reflection of moonlight on water. In your mind's eye, picture that blue light swirling gently at your throat, expanding with each inhale, clearing away tension and doubt with every exhale. You can even imagine it spiraling upward as you speak your truth into the universe. Now, if you did do the meditation, I invite you back. Now, let's talk about affirmations. Affirmations are the most simplest, powerful statements we can repeat throughout our day, throughout our meditation, throughout journaling, just any time, especially when you're feeling your throat tighten or your voice wants to hide. Here's a couple that I give you to really hold on to and try and repeat when you're feeling like you want to hide instead. The first one is, I speak my truth with clarity and confidence. And the second one is, I honor my inner voice and trust its wisdom. There's so many other affirmations you can use, but these two happen to be my favorite. They resonate with me in so many ways. So I invite you, if these two resonate with you, or if there's others you might like, to repeat them slowly, mindfully, and let the words sink in. Let them soften the walls that silence you. Let them become your new story of your body and your soul. Begin to believe. Imagine as you're saying them and you're feeling them, they're being invisibly tattooed onto you. So you always have them there. This isn't about forcing your voice to come out louder. It's about gently inviting it to return. It's about letting your inner truth feel safe again, because our words are magic. Our voice is medicine, and the world needs to hear what only you can say. Now, one of the most powerful ways to begin healing of our throat chakra is by giving space to our thoughts and our truths that have gone unspoken. Writing can become the voice before the voice is a voice, a space to release what is being held in and to begin trusting your inner truth again. Journal prompts are designed to gently guide you into reflection, self-inquiry, and vulnerability. Don't worry about writing it perfectly. Let it be raw and honest, and let it be for your eyes only. You might be surprised by what comes out when you simply allow the words to flow. Here are a couple prompts to explore. What truths have I been holding back from, and why? Where in my life am I currently being called to speak more honestly or openly? And if I could say one thing without fear or judgment, without the fear of judgment or backlash, what would it be? Take your time with these. You don't have to answer them all in one sitting, and there's so many more to explore. Sometimes even just writing out a single truth can feel like opening a dam that's been waiting to be released. Allow it. Remove the logs that you've built to hold the water in. Let your journal be your practicing ground. Let your pen be your microphone for the voice within. And remember, healing your throat chakra isn't about learning to speak louder. It's about learning to speak truthfully, with love, with intention, and with self-trust. Now, something to get our body moving. You see, when it comes to healing of Vishuddhari, our throat chakra, movement is more than just physical. It's energetic. This chakra that sits right at your throat center and governs communication, self-expression, and authenticity is often like, how do you get movement there? So, when we practice yoga for this energy center, we are focusing on creating openness in the neck, shoulders, jaw, and even our upper spine. all of which can hold tension from years of unspoken words, withheld emotions, or fear of being misunderstood. Have you guys ever been sitting there, didn't do much, didn't care anything, and feel this weird tightness around your neck? That can be a signal that your throat chakra needs some attention, some love, and some movement. Here are some beautiful, supportive yoga poses to help you release the tightness and activate your voice. First one, super simple. Anyone can do it. And the best thing is you can do it anywhere. Neck rolls. Simply start by gently rolling your neck in slow circles to loosen tension and become aware of how much tightness you've been holding. This is like massaging the energetic gateway of our throat chakra. When you roll your neck, you're starting to release the tension. Allow yourself to breathe calmly when doing it. It might hurt, and I'm not saying go super fast, but take your time with the roll. Allow the tension to melt off. Think of the neck where you're rolling as this nice piece of butter, and at each roll is adding temperature, so it's melting away the stress. Another one that is really easy to do and simply probably the most best way to get it is the cat-cow pose. Flowing between the cat and cow pose helps you connect breathing with movement while opening the throat and chest. In cow pose, lift the chin slightly and draw the shoulders back to stretch the front of the throat. As you do this and you repeat this action, imagine yourself opening up that chest area, that throat area, and allowing the flow to move like water through a cup. As you fill the water in the cup and you pour it out, that's the fluidity of the energetic movement there. And as always, move with intention. Let your breath guide you. And while you're in these poses, consider repeating an affirmation silently or out loud, something like, "My voice matters," or "I speak my truth with clarity and love." Remember, healing the throat chakra through yoga isn't about shouting from the rooftops. It's about clearing out the fear, the tension, and the suppression that might be clogging your channel so your voice can start to flow freely and align with your heart and rooted in your truth. Alrighty, my loves, that wraps up our exploration of our throat chakra, the sacred space of self-expression, truth, and courage to use our voices. If this episode resonated with you, I invite you to take a moment today to speak your truth, even if it's just to yourself in the mirror, in a journal, or whispered into your pillow. Your voice is a channel for healing, not just for you, but for the people you're meant to touch with your words, your energy, and your story. And remember, healing this chakra doesn't mean you always have to be loud or articulate or above it all. It means you're willing to honor what's real for you and share from a place of love, not fear. If you're craving deeper support, don't forget the Throat Chakra Healing Workbook is now available. Inside, you'll find expanded journal prompts, Ayurvedic rituals for balancing our Vishuddhati shadow work practice, meditation, affirmations, yoga flows to continue this beautiful healing journey at your own pace. And if you're ready to go even deeper, I invite you to take a look at my Chakra Healing Shadow Work Healing course. In this guided program, we'll walk through each chakra, combining Ayurveda shadow work, yoga, and inner child healing to bring you back to alignment with your most authentic self. Thank you so much for being here, for showing up for yourself, and doing the sacred inner work. You're not alone in this journey. I'm right here with you. Until next time, keep listening inward and speak your truth outward. Talk to you guys soon.